Devin here, and I will be building the Cmoy pocket amplifier following the tangentsoft.net tutorial. Right here I have just a basic overview of the things that you'll need to build this. I will go through some of these as I'm building and some tips and whatnot, but these are the basic components of what you need to build this little pocket amplifier. So I'm going to start right here with, I think, one of the most important things, you know, besides the soldering iron of course, are these helping hands. Okay, they are just invaluable. This is like a must-have when you're soldering. They're great, especially when you're trying to solder just those two little wires where they come together, and you know, you're holding it and you're propping it on little boxes and books, and you're burning your little books, and gosh, just a mess. Right here you can pick these up at your Radioshack, called Helping Hands, for $16.99. They're great. You'll use them. It also comes with a magnifying glass right here that I don't have attached, but you know, for those that need it, look at that, helps. Anyway, I have a little business card here. Doesn't matter, I don't even know what it is, doesn't matter. I use it to put underneath the helping hands, where I put the PC board on top to hold the components in, so it keeps the shaft straight, so you don't have to do the little bend method, you know, like whatever you're gonna do to bend it to hold it so it doesn't fall out, because you're gonna be soldering, you know, upside down. Also right here I have some little Radioshack rosin Flux, and this helps you, you know, you're gonna use Flux, you know, keeps it from oxidizing. You can put it on your components or put it on your soldering iron to bring it back after it's oxidized. To me, another really important thing is this. It's like a little jewel I've discovered. I probably can't change the macro now, but what it's called is a Radioshack tip tinner and cleaner. It's small, it's like $6 or $7 for this little bitty tiny can, but believe me, you'll love it. It comes with a little adhesive pad on the back. You know, you want to stick it to the side of your iron or up here or wherever you want it, need be. I just leave it like that. And what you do is you get your iron hot, say it's already oxidized. To bring it back, all you got to do is dip it in this this little material here. Really helps. I find it very useful when my solder isn't getting that little wettability kind of thing. Those aren't burn marks, that's just wetness, but it's great. Just avoid the smell, like when you're dipping your soldering in, wash the fumes, don't sniff it in, it smells like ammonia. I don't know what it is, but it's great. Definitely get this, it's a must, along with these little helping hands. Also, I have some solder here. I got this at Fry's. I have some silver solder. This is rosin, you know, core. It's 21 gauge, 0.032 diameter. I definitely recommend this. Not the silver solder, but the diameter for all these basic electrical soldering. This is the solder that I've been using. This is definitely what I recommend. It's 6236, same diameter, 0.032 or 21 gauge, whatever you need be. And it's 1.1% flux. I find that to be absolutely perfect for this. Well, let's see how long of, I don't know how much I have here. I guess 0.7 ounces. This is plenty, okay? This is plenty. I've used this on countless projects and I still haven't used it all, as you can see. Alright, right here I have some kind of like a side cutter. What they are the little pinchers, little crimpers and snips at the very end. I use this for getting into kind of tight spaces. You know, you want to clip off some long leads, or you know, maybe even strip some wires. Well, that's what you use these for. But mostly to clip off leads, off resistors, capacitors, whatever. And alternately I use these side cutters here. And I use the little plier thing in here to bend the little snips around. And of course I got my soldering iron with my little pad here that's wet. You want to make sure that you clean this off pretty regularly. You know, you see I have some little things here. You just want to wash them off. Keep your pad wet, not soaking wet where there's water and you see steam when you touch it, but just wet enough so it won't burn the sponge. Alright, and you know, I got my soldering iron, so that's pretty much all the components right now that you'll need to build it. If I were you, I'd go ahead and print off his assembly information. He's got a tight layout that he has on his website. I'll have a link to it. If you look over here, I'll have a link to it along with all the parts list, which you'll hear later in the video that I have the parts list over there. So look over there. Use this tight layout. I follow it, you know, pretty much step by step how to build it, and I have printed off all the instructions for it, so I don't have to sit there and go back to the computer and run back to my soldering iron. But if I didn't touch on this, you need a multimeter, definitely, to test the power. But like I said, print this off so you can, you know, go back to it, whatever. So, let's get to building. Is a Radioshack PC board, grid style, which you can pick up at your local Radioshack for about $1.99. It's very cheap, very useful. And for this project, we're going to go ahead and score it right down the center. As you can see here, break it in half, and you can save the other half if you want to go ahead and make your another one. This will be my second one, my first one sitting over there. Just break it in half, and size comparison here to the Altoids tin. Half will give you plenty of room for your batteries and your components up front, so it'll probably sit about right there. So on with the build.